Joining the Paralegal Certificate Course Informational webinar presented by the Center for Legal Studies. We will begin shortly, or actually just kidding, we're going to begin now. Today's webinar will start with a presentation by Stephanie Elio, Vice President of Business Development at the Center for Legal Studies. Following the presentation, we will allocate approximately 10 minutes for a live Q&A session. During this time, you are encouraged to submit your questions via the Q&A feature, and our enrollment counselors will either respond directly or we will address your questions live. If we are unable to address your question during the webinar, we will provide our contact information at the end of the presentation so you can reach out to us after. Without further ado, I will now hand it over to Stephanie to start today's presentation. Take it away, Stephanie.
Thank you, Deja, and welcome to all of you. We are so happy that you chose to join us for this information session. We're going to talk about the Paralegal Certificate course today. Let's take a quick little run through the agenda. Ground rules for any webinar that we do. So we do have enrollment counselors in the background to answer questions via the live chat, and more than likely I'll answer most of them through the presentation, but in case I don't, they will respond to you in real time. If we happen to miss anything, then you'll have information to get to us later. But as part of the ground rules, we want to make sure that when you do submit a question, please keep it relevant and be kind. They are working as quickly as they can. We'll talk about who the Center for Legal Studies is. We'll discuss the differences in the learning formats between the 100% online formats, the standard online, self-study, live lecture, which format's best for you, how our grading policies work and what the time commitments look like, some student satisfaction overviews, and then we'll take a look at the actual course, what those learning outcomes are, how the interactive assessments work. We'll discuss advanced courses that you can take after you complete the paralegal certificate and digital badges. Once we get through those, we'll be looking at what the current career outlook is and how we support you in that effort. And finally, the enrollment process itself. And as Deja mentioned, with time allowing, we will have live Q&A at the end. So without further ado, let's go ahead and dive in. CLS, short for Center for Legal Studies, was founded in 1980. We have been around for a very long time, 45 years in training paralegals. We are very proud these days to be a part of Barbary Global. Barbary is the world leader in legal education, distance learning, and certifications. Why would you want to enroll with us? We work very hard to ensure that our courses are affordable. They are flexible, those different formats I was talking about. Credible. We have licensed attorneys, extremely high-ranking paralegals that teach our courses. We work very hard to maintain the curriculum, all the lessons that you'll learn in this program. The experience of not only our instructional staff, but our tech staff, our enrollment counselors, and everyone presents the most professional front that we can, because the main focus for everything that we do is you, our students. We offer many different courses beyond the paralegal certificate. There's a full catalog available on our website that includes things like victim advocacy, legal secretary, alternative dispute resolution. We do legal nurse consultant. If you have not already been to our website to look at that catalog, you can do so at www.legalstudies.com. We train more students for legal support roles than any other legal program or legal institute in the United States. All of our curriculum, all of our lessons, our courses are designed and updated to remain on pace with the current industry. So looking at the different formats. First, and before we dig in, I want you to know that regardless of the format you choose, All the learning objectives are the same, whether you're looking at traditional online, the self-paced, self-study, the live online via Zoom, or the text-only format. What you learn in the program will be the same. You will complete the program with the same skills. The difference is really in the time when the course starts and how it's delivered. So with the traditional online format, which we also refer to as standard online, it is by far our most popular format. We have courses that begin every 8 weeks. The next session begins on June 30th. And this is a 100% online. It's an asynchronous virtual classroom. There is a dedicated instructor for the course, and you have classmates. So in this format, you would complete 2 7-week sessions. The next start date I said was in June, June the 30th. And there's another one that starts, I believe the date is August 5th, and then another in October. We have 6 different start dates for this format per year. The course is completed in 14 weeks and it's delivered over 2 7-week sessions. Those sessions are required to be consecutive. And when you enroll, you simply select the session in which you want to begin. Our system will automatically enroll you in the session that follows because each of those sessions is 7 weeks. We do it that way intentionally because that other catalog that I was speaking of with all of our other courses, most of those are completed in a single 7-week session, and they are available 6 times per year. But the one we're here to talk about today, the paralegal certificate, requires 14 weeks training. The tuition, the course fee that you pay will cover both sessions. You do not pay that money twice. In this format, as I was saying, you do have classmates. So it's not a huge, massive class. We actually cap out our classes at about 35 to 40 students max for each dedicated instructor. And that doesn't mean we won't have room for you. We absolutely will. Once a session or once a class is full, we simply open another and another and another and another. And we can host as many classes as we need to accommodate all of the prospective students. In this format, you do have weekly assignment deadlines to help you stay on track and complete your training within that 14-week time frame. All students have 24/7 access to the system. So the way it works is you register, enroll for the course, you will get confirmation, you get your books ordered, and on the 30th, class starts. All students are issued their username and passwords the day class starts, not when you pay your course fee. So on the morning of the 30th, for all registered students, they get their username and password and can then log into the portal where the class is delivered. It's 100% online. You don't need any special software. Internet access is sufficient. Log into our system, which is totally secure. Your instructor will have posted what your assignments are for the week, your reading assignments. If there are any topics for discussion, which is a discussion board, which you're required to participate in weekly, everything you need to do. Deadlines are typically at the end of the week. So it doesn't matter what time you log in, what day of the week you log in, as long as you do. Get the information that's been posted there, complete what's assigned for the week, turn it in before the deadline, and you dictate your own schedule, as long as you are staying on top of things week to week. So that is our most popular format with standard online. And now we're going to look at the difference between the self-study. So I mentioned that our traditional online has very specific start dates. The next is June 30th, then in August, then October. And when we roll the calendar into 26, there'll be one in January and March and May, and 6 more every year from here to eternity. With self-study format, you could start today, tomorrow, whenever you want. And rather than have that very scheduled 2 7-week sessions, you dictate your entire schedule and pace through that course. Rather than 14 weeks, you're actually given 6 months to complete the program. Now, this next bullet point there on the slide says faster or slower than traditional 14-week online. I've been doing this a really long time. It is very rare, like a unicorn rare, that someone's going to complete faster than 14 weeks. This is not a fluffy program. Life gets in the way, things happen. If your goal is to complete it at the fastest pace possible, then you should be in the standard online or the live online, which we'll talk about in a moment. The option to interact with that dedicated instructor exists for all formats. So that is not a differentiator, but one of the differentiators for self-study format is that you are a self-motivated learner. You have good time management skills. You are an independent learner. And that's not to say that if you aren't, it's a negative thing. Everybody learns differently. And the majority of our students actually find benefit to the fact that there is a set schedule in standard online and the instructor posts each week what they need to do. So they're not worried about, getting to complete on time because they're able to. It's a funny thing, the way life works. When you know that you have more time to get something done, then other things tend to take a priority. Life gets in the way. People have kids, people have jobs, people have aging parents, just things happen. And if you think you've got a longer timeline, those things become a priority. And it's not uncommon for some people to take longer than the 6 months. There is an extra fee if you need to extend your timeline. But with the standard, getting it done in 14 weeks, majority of the students complete right on time because they've got that set schedule. So something to think about when you're choosing which way you want to take the class. Our next format is the live lecture. Now, it's still called live lecture because we literally used to put dedicated instructors on a campus pre-pandemic. We moved that to Zoom because of the way the world was, and it was impossible for us to be on closed campuses. It's worked out really well on Zoom. You still get the live interaction, but you don't have to drive to a campus. You don't have to worry about the gas, the parking, the extra time it takes. You can do this from anywhere as long as you have internet access. We do 3 different live classes per year and schedules, I should say. The next ones begin in July. You can look at our website for scheduling information. Those are all custom schedules and they're based on time zone. So we will have a Pacific class, a Mountain class, Central and East time zone classes. And we partner with about 155, 160 college and universities right now. Not every school we have offers the live format, but many do. And there are absolutely available slots for live lecture for you to choose the right time zone if that's something you prefer. The dedicated instructor is actually on screen. Now, some things to consider if you're looking at our live class, these are completed within 8 to 12 weeks. So if your goal was get it done as fast as possible, then maybe live, if you're willing to wait to start until July, would work for you. There is an attendance requirement if you select live. Students are required to attend at minimum 80% of the lectures, which on an 8 to 12 week schedule means you can miss 1 or 2 classes, period. No more. This is an accelerated delivery of the course. And in order to get all of the skills that you need and do all the lessons and get all the lectures you need to be there, which means that you are in front of your computer on Zoom, present and paying attention for almost every class in that series. So back to the advantage of the standard online, you're in control of your schedule. You could log on at 5 in the morning, noon, 6 p.m. It really doesn't matter. If you don't get there till Wednesday to pick up what's due for the week and you can get it done on the weekend or whatever, that works. It is truly the most flexible format. So everybody has different goals. Everybody has different ways they learn best. And therefore, we offer these multiple formats. The next slide, I believe, is a format chart. There we go. That is really going to kind of show you who it's best for and when the start dates are. The one that we did not dig into to discuss is text only. We're not going to spend a lot of time on that because it is a very specialized format that is designed for folks who literally do not have internet access for one reason or another. They may be military deployed. They may be incarcerated. They may be someone who lives in, which are getting fewer and fewer these days, an area where their geography simply does not have internet. But the first three should accommodate the majority of our prospective students. So in moving on, we are going to look at the course grading and time commitment for any of those formats. Let's talk about grades for a second. This is an accelerated program. It is a job skills training course. It is not designed to teach you a bunch of academic theory that you'll never use and you're just taking information in to memorize to pass a test or to, fulfill some kind of requirement like you would be doing in a degree. This is literally job skills training. So every lesson has an objective, and these are helping you to develop skills that you will absolutely use on the job when you're done. So we have a minimum passing score of 70% or better on every assignment that you do. There are weekly tests. There are those online discussion boards that I talked about. There's quizzes. There is no cumulative grading here. So we do not grade on a curve. You can't get a 40 on something or a 60 on something and a 100 on another and get some average of 75 in the middle. No. Every assignment. Now, first question that comes to everyone's mind is, what happens if I have a bad day? What happens if I just was totally off base on something and I bomb it? It's a natural fear, but it's not the end of your world. We recognize those things happen, and that's okay because this policy is not meant to be punitive. It's meant to ensure that when you finish this program and go out into the world, you are successful and you are capable and competent in what you need to do for your existing or new employer. So if you have a bad day, if one of these scores comes in below, you're absolutely going to have an opportunity to redo that. Your instructor will communicate with you, let you know where you got off track, what you did wrong. You'll have an opportunity to study, to ask questions, and retake that test, to redo that post, to redo that quiz. And you can do that up to 3 times because it's all about becoming proficient and developing the skill. And we want all of you to be successful. That is our highest priority. These courses are truly designed for busy adult learners, which is why we have all of those different formats. Students should really expect to spend about 8 to 12 hours per week on their course. That includes reading time, the online time, the discussion board time, all of that. You could spend a little more, but this is a pretty good average. And as I opened this webinar, I stated we've been doing this a really long time, 45 years. That's a pretty standard average. If you find that you are, excuse me, spending, 5 or 6 hours, you may be incredibly accelerated, but you might be missing something. So go back and double check. If you're spending more than 15 hours, I highly recommend you communicate with your instructor. It's very possible that you went down a rabbit hole or you're overthinking something. It may not be as hard as you're making it out to be. So that dedicated instructor is there. Communicate with them. They have email tools within our system. They have office hours. Sometimes they do study groups. You can make an appointment. You can certainly send them a chat message via email. Do not expect an instant response. As I want to reiterate that our instructors are licensed attorneys, extremely high ranking paralegals. They don't only have teaching experience, they have current professional knowledge. If they have got no less than 10 years experience, and the caveat on that is they are still working. So they have day jobs too. So they do have a reasonable time frame in which to get back to you, but it's seldom instantaneous. So please go into this with realistic expectations. We do provide ongoing administrative and technical support for all of our students. And our office hours are pretty standard. We're here from 8 a.m. to 6 p.m., Monday through Friday, Central Standard Time. Our 1-800 number is on our website. We do have chat available also on our website. And when our enrollment counselors are in, which is on that same schedule, 8 to 6, Monday through Friday, excluding national holidays, you can get some pretty instant answers there. And if you support that you need, then our admin team can get back to you usually within 24 hours. Let's roll on to the next part, and that is student satisfaction. 95% of our students have said that these courses are exactly what I'm telling you, more flexible than they find in other programs, that the learning objectives are on pace with what they need to know in the current industry. And they absolutely recommend this course to family and friends. That's, referral is a big part of our classes, and people that have heard about us one way or another, and they're taking this program because they know someone else who has, and they do return to further their education. We're going to talk about the advanced paralegal and other courses that you can take once you complete the paralegal certificate. But before we do that, we are going to look at the content of this program. So the learning outcomes are available in front of you here, and this is a really high level overview. You can dig into the nitty gritty of all of this on our website at www.legalstudies.com. Under the About CLS tab, you'll see a link for syllabi. And when you click that, it's actually going to take you to the full catalog for every course we offer, not just the paralegal certificate, but you can click into the syllabus itself. And you can do that long before you register. It is a very comprehensive overview of the entire program. It's got the reading charts in it. You can see what all the learning objectives are, the grading policies I talked about, everything else. It gives you a great deal more information that you might get in some other program before you started. For just the high level overview, we do teach legal research, legal writing, civil procedure. Ethics is a component of every course that we teach. You will develop legal citation skills and proper rules of evidence, torts, contracts. All of those are included in this program, the Paralegal Certificate. In this online program and the self-study program, there are recorded video lectures. There are also formative assessments that you can do to self-assess your learning without being graded. So they're great little study tools. You get immediate feedback. They're kind of like games, flashcard games, vocabulary testing, and those are great tools to help you study. Retake them as many times as you want to help you retain the information. If you've already looked at your book list, one of the optional books is a law dictionary. It goes hand in hand with these vocabulary exercises in the program. There is a ton of new vocabulary. legal jargon that you would have no reason to know if you weren't already in this industry. By the time you're done with this program, you are going to develop a new vocabulary filled with legal jargon. So these tools and that pocket dictionary are great tools to help you develop that skill. Once you complete the paralegal certificate, we have the advanced program. Now, if you happen to reside in the state of California, and that is where you intend to continue living and where you plan to work, then you are subject to the California Business and Professions Code 6450, which literally dictates how much training you must have, how much legal substantive training you must have in order to be in compliance with the regs and have your employer bill you out as a paralegal. Now, it just so happens that the combination of our paralegal certificate and the advanced paralegal exactly meet the requirements for that code, done intentionally. So, if you're in California, pay very close attention. If you live or plan on working somewhere else in the US, I can tell you, you want to listen to this too, because about 70%, 80% of our students these days will proceed on to, if not all of the advanced program, at least some of the advanced topics. And the reason they do that, not because it's required, but because they understand the more skills you have, the more training you have, the more valuable you are to an employer. Helps for promotion, helps for pay raise, helps when you're looking for that initial job to have additional training beyond the core basics in some specialty areas. So let's take a look at what those specialty areas are. This program is comprised of 16 specialty topics of law: advanced legal research, bankruptcy, constitutional law, criminal procedure, family law, immigration law. Every single one of these special topics is a 7-week class. Now, I mentioned that our academic calendar is broken down into 6 7-week sessions per year. Every single one of these topics is available every session. Now, if you are meeting the full requirements to earn your advanced certificate because you're in California or because you want the full second certificate, you need to complete 6 of these. We allow students to take them 1, 2, or 3 at a time in a single 7-week session. So the fastest you could complete advanced coursework would be 3 plus 3 in 2 7-week sessions. So an additional 14 weeks. If you want to go slower than that, perfectly acceptable. Students get 12 months to complete 6. Clock starts ticking when you take the first one. So if you want to take them one at a time, no problem. Take one each session. I have kind of a rule of thumb I share with people who take time to come to our webinars in how to decide how much can I take. And you're really not going to know that answer until you complete your paralegal certificate. If you find that through the core paralegal certificate program, you're sticking to the schedule and you're doing really well and you're scoring, 80% or above on every assignment and not too stressed and you're feeling really good about it, you can handle 3 at a time. If you are struggling to hit that 80% mark and starting to stress a lot and it's hard for you to juggle the course with whatever's going on in your life, maybe you want to pull that back to 2. If you're pulling your hair out through the paralegal certificate course and your life is totally stressed and you're having trouble with some of the grades, and you have to retake a few things, then I recommend you start with 1 and build from there, 1 at a time. So keep that in mind for when you get to that point. If you decide that you'd like to participate and take some advanced training, every one of these topics has great value. We don't choose for you. You get to choose for yourself. And if you choose your first 6 to start, that doesn't mean you're stuck with them. Once you start your program, if you want to change down the road and decide, I signed up originally for business law, but I decided now I want to take family law next term. Not a problem. Send our support team an email and they will change that for you. You can't change it once you have started a class, but if they are ones that are earmarked for future sessions, you can absolutely change those up. You could even change the pace. So speed up, slow down, that's perfectly acceptable. And when you complete a topic, or any course for that matter, you earn a digital badge. This is the certificate you earn at the end. You can print that out and frame it and put it on your wall, and that's great. It really does acknowledge the sense of accomplishment you should have for completing this program. But a digital badge does even more than that. The certificate's going to have the name of a course. It's going to have the school that you took it through. It'll have our branding on it and the dates in which you took the course. A digital badge is going to have all that. Plus, you can literally click into it, drill down, and it will list out all the skills that you developed in the program. Now, think about that from an employer standpoint. An employer wants to know that you finished your training, yes, but they also want to know what you learned, exactly what you learned. What are you bringing to their table? This digital badge will display that for you. It also includes real job postings, requirements, salaries, all kinds of career information for you. So the digital badges are frankly awesome. Something great that's happened around here in the last, 4 or 5 years. When you complete the paralegal certificate, you will earn that digital badge. If you complete 6 advanced topics, you will earn an advanced paralegal certificate badge. And for each and every subspecialty topic you take, they earn a badge of their own. These are great on your e-signature, also on LinkedIn. Big on LinkedIn. So look for those. If you want additional information, you can find some on the website. You can also send an email to our enrollment counselors, and they've got a little video that talks a little bit more about the badges, but you've got the bulk of the information here. The platform that we use is Credly, and it is the same that is used by colleges and universities nationwide. So extremely well thought of brand for badging. And they are a strong company, not going anywhere. So your badge is going to maintain its value for as long as you need it to. Let's go ahead and look at our next item, please. And that would be our career outlook. Why would you take a job skills training program if you don't plan to work? I mean, some take it because we've just got lifelong learners, and we love those folks. But the majority of people are here because they're looking for a career change or a promotion in a current role. And that's what this is for. So if you're a career changer or you're looking to, because you maybe came from an entirely different field, which happens every day here, you want to know who's going to hire me, where should I look for employment? With the paralegal skill set, the answer is most everywhere. Everybody hires paralegals. So everyone knows they work in law firms. That's a given. Okay. But they also work in every major corporation, the banking industry, finance, real estate. Every corporation's got a legal department, government agencies, charitable, nonprofits, startups, government education, college universities hire paralegals. They have legal departments. Local city government, real estate, car dealerships hire paralegals to do contract work. There are opportunities everywhere. So wherever your passion may be and whatever kind of role you're looking for, this is a skill set that is transferable and you can apply these skills in that industry. We also have a growing demand for folks that work from home. bigger than ever. Another plus out of the pandemic, it was a negative and hard time for everybody, but it taught employers that paralegals can work from home. I want to warn you that that is not an expectation you should walk into an entry-level job with. Um, may turn out that you find one, but there's so much value in being on site in your first year or two that there's a lot to learn on site that you would not learn if you were virtually working from home. They do have hybrid jobs out there. And if you're someone who has already been working as a paralegal, maybe you're here because you never actually earned your certificate or you're looking to get promoted, those opportunities are more bountiful. But it's something you'll want to ask about in interviews. And if they tell you no, pivot and understand that they're doing that for a reason because they want you to be successful, and the on-site training you're going to get beyond this program is really critical to your success. If you want to work as an independent paralegal, those opportunities exist too. They're called legal document preparers. And if you want to be a legal document preparer, that's a LDP, there's not a lot of regs out there for those right now. In the state of Arizona, they do have, those are people who are going to, do some kind of family law documentation. They do some other legal documentation that doesn't require an attorney, some immigration paperwork, things like that. If that is your goal, you'll need to take the paralegal and the advanced, and then take the specialty areas that you think will be most applicable to the direction you want to go. But the state of Arizona has basically modeled after the California regs for their LDPs. Other states don't have them, but you'd be safest to bet that it's coming. And if that's your intention, you'd rather get the training done right now so you're set to go. A piece of advice for you, if you do want to work as an LDP, the instructor will very specifically in your course spend time teaching the class what you can and cannot do with or without the supervision of a licensed attorney. If your goal is to work independently, pay very close attention to that part of the course. So I want to say that again. They will teach you what you can and cannot do with or without the supervision of a licensed attorney. And if you need to ask questions of your dedicated instructor, please do that in the course. Our enrollment counselors aren't going to be able to answer those kind of questions for you. They'll answer more navigational questions and career outlook, things like that. But when it comes down to the laws, that's what your instructor is there to clarify for you. And we're on to the next slide, please. While we're talking about careers, so we built a career resource center out for our students a few years ago. Lots of tools in that. You can get a career resource guide early on. One of the things that is exclusive for our students that you get an exclusive invite to when you've completed 60% of your coursework is an invitation to our quarterly webinar series for Career Outlook. And that is an awesome invitation to get because you get into this very gated experience where you have to have completed 60% of your course. And it is a panel discussion of actual hiring professionals that work in big law firms and work for Robert Half Legal and all kinds of other places. And they are the ones that give you the inside skinny on exactly what they're looking for when they hire someone. So they're filled with advice and tips and just general information that comes from real people doing those jobs right now. So it's very valuable. And when you get 60% through your course, I recommend you accept that invitation and put it on your schedule to attend that webinar. In the resource tools, there's also a CLS blog and then that resource guide that I told you about. So all things to help you in that end goal, and that is towards your next job or promotion or whatever you're seeking as you are working on your career path. And we can't be done with careers conversation without talking about the earning potential. These are median salaries. We update our information all of the time. The most recent is there is a bright outlook and a projected 14% growth between now and 3031, which is much faster than other occupations. That median salary being 56,000 and change plus benefits. And this is according to the Bureau of Labor Statistics, which is a government website. Different industries are going to have different pay rate, different geographies are going to have. Somebody just asked a question. I saw it fly up on the screen. What are the dates for the survey or for the data source? They update the occupational handbook on the BLS.gov every 2 years. So every other year, that occupational handbook is updated. And I believe it was updated at the end of last year. So it's about as current as you're going to get. Those statistics were showing just under 70,000 for federal government jobs, finance and insurance, about 65. I mean, you can certainly read these here. The other thing is geography. Cost of living varies very much from the rural, Kansas out in the farmlands to New York City or LA for that matter. So take that into account when you're looking. These are median salaries, so that would be the average. We know paralegals, and some of these paralegals are high ranking and have been in the field for a long time. It's not unheard of to get to 6 figures as a paralegal. It's also, not unheard of to have a very flexible job where you can, raise your kids and work part-time and make a salary that is good enough to add to your family's income and still be doing something that you're passionate about and be raising kids at the same time. So whatever your life looks like and whatever your goals are, this is something that can absolutely fit into your plans. I saw another question just fly up that I'll address while we're talking about earning potential, and that was about mature people. So older adults. This is a profession that respects older adults, and hiring opportunities are fantastic for career changers that may be a little older. I'm not 25 anymore. I would consider myself on that older side, but we've got students that are as old as 65, 75 that take this course, and they're looking for another job. They want another job, and they're very successful in getting it because this is a profession that doesn't only respect that you've got the training to do the technical and legal parts of the job, but that you have the maturity to make smart decisions. So it is not as discriminatory against age as some other professions may be. Your age, your maturity, your life experience is respected in this field. Absolutely. Let's keep going. How do you enroll? If you haven't done so already, you will see on our website, and I mentioned it a little earlier, we partner with over 150 accredited colleges and universities nationwide. What you see on this slide is a sample, and it's just a sample of some of the schools that we work with. The likelihood of us having a partner school in your neck of the woods is strong. I think we're in all but about 6 states at this point in time. And if by chance you live in one of those states where we don't have a partner, select the neighboring state. It is always our advice that if we've got a school near where you live, that's the one you should choose. Because if you're going to continue living where you are, working where you are, that's the most recognizable name locally. If you happen to be alum of one of our partners and you want everything on your resume to match, then you can certainly choose another school. But choosing the one closest to you has always been the best advice that we can give to prospective students. You can see very quickly which schools are close to you on our website. On the homepage, in the top right corner, there's a find a course box, and it'll ask you to put in the course you're looking for and the state. Because although majority of our partner schools do offer a full catalog of our courses, some of them don't offer every course. So you want to make sure that the course that you're looking to take is offered by the school in which you want to take it. CLS is still going to deliver the training. Those instructors work for us at CLS. We vet them, we hire them. The schools vet the curriculum and the courses every year and are overseeing that. They will issue your certificate of completion when you're done. It will have that school that you select upon registration's name on it, and they are truly educational partners with us. I can guarantee that every single partner school we work with is an accredited institution, and therein lies the value of having your certificate issued to the school. We are the training partner. And then next, to register, after you've selected the program, the course that you want, and the school, you're going to go in and pick up your books. There are required textbooks for this course, and those books range about $400. There are a few ebooks there if you want to select those to help lower some of your cost. The online and self-study course fee is $2,095. The live lecture and text-only formats are $2,195. The other item on that list of expenses is Westlaw Access. That is your subscription into the online law library system, which we will train you how to use. There are two main law library systems utilized in the United States. One is LexisNexis, the other is Westlaw. If you can use one, you can use the other. We train in Westlaw, honestly, because they give us better rates. Typically they have pay-per-click with law firms and other people who subscribe to the law libraries. We have more students, more paralegal students, and do more training than any other provider in the country. Therefore, they give us awesome rates. The $89 you will pay for 7 weeks access into Westlaw, because you only need it on the second half of your training, is equivalent to about $3,000 worth of pay-per-click. So it's a heck of a deal, and it is a required tool. You will need it, but you can pay it at the halfway mark. As far as payment options go, if you already have access to Westlaw, you do not have to subscribe to another instance of it. But make sure if it's something through an existing employer, you check with them, because you don't want to find out that they are in a pay-per-click subscription and all of a sudden they know you're taking this class, but their bill goes up. You don't want that to be your fault. So please have a conversation with them and make sure they're going to give you permission to use it. There are different payment options available. You can check out with a regular credit card if you'd like. We also utilize Affirm, where you can do anywhere from 3 to 18-month payment plans. There is absolutely no ding on your credit. It's just a soft credit check. So I would look at it if I were you. Just because you click it to investigate using it and finding out what those payments may look like at anywhere from 3 to 18 months, you can certainly decline it. You don't have to accept it. We also use PayPal, and that is PayPal credit or Pay in 4. Other payment options may be available and vary by partner school. You could speak with our enrollment counselors to check on those. But checking out with your own credit card, controlling your own payback on that, or using Affirm or PayPal are the most popular methods for checking out on our website. And I think we are at the tail end here, and we'll have time for a little bit of Q&A. If you have any questions at all after this webinar between 8 a.m. and 6 p.m., you can certainly call our 1-800 number. We have enrollment counselors always standing by to help you, and that's 1-800-522-7737. You can email us directly at info, that's info at legalstudies.com, or go back and visit our website, legalstudies.com, which is a wealth of information, more than I could ever relay in the hour we're spending together today. So we are at the tail end. It looks like we've got a few minutes left. Deja, what have you got for me?
All right, awesome. Thank you so much, Stephanie. Let's go ahead and get started with some questions. Is this the first step to a legal career?
Certainly can be. Absolutely. I mean, there's file clerks, there's legal secretaries, there's other things beneath a paralegal, but it goes by different names depending on the employer, and the jurisdiction might be called a legal assistant. It is one of the first steps in a legal career. We have paralegals that go on to law school after working for a few years. Law school's a little steep. It's expensive. So if you're going to be the lawyer down the road that's going to tell paralegals what to do, it really helps if you've done that job yourself. And paralegals make good money. So if you're going to pay for law school, this will help you foot that bill. And if that is your end goal, to become an attorney, then I would say stick with the Barbary name, because we will help you get into law school with another one of our product lines, which is PowerScore, and that's LSAT prep. And then we can help you with your law school courses. We can also at Barbary help you prepare for your bar exam, and that's the test you take when you finish law school to become a licensed attorney. So all through your journey here at Barbary, we would be here to help you. And beyond that, we even do CLEs, and that's continuing legal education, because if you get to the part in a journey where you want to be an attorney, you'll be taking continuing education after that too. So we're here from beginning to end and everything in between for you.
Thank you. Another question we have here is, can you pay this program with FAFSA as well?
No, you cannot. And that's that's easy for us to answer, because federal financial aid monies are for degree seeking students. When you're going to be in school for 2 to 4 years, this is not that. You're not earning a degree. You are earning a certificate of completion. This is a job skills training program, not a degree.
All right. Let's see here. Do you provide job search and interviewing practice?
Within the Career Center, they do have a resume review free that you can obtain. There is the career advising webinar series, the career know-how, and that career resource guide, as well as all of the job postings in the digital badge. And then there is also job postings in the Career Center. So all of those tools, we're not going to find a job for you. We are not going to secure a job for you. There are no internships here. But we've got a ton of career tools to help you accomplish those goals.
All right. Do you think it's possible to obtain a job while in school?
Sure. In fact, when you're finishing up your program, we tell people start getting your resume together and start getting it out there, and let them know your anticipated completion date, because maybe they need someone as just an assistant, as an entry level, and that's available now. You're going to get your foot in the door. And then once you earn your certificate, you can, be just poised and ready for that promotion to get into the paralegal role.
All right. And what if you are a lawyer from a foreign country? Do you still need this before the advanced course?
What I would recommend is that our entire courses, all of them are taught on US federal law. So if you were trained in a foreign country, your exposure to US federal law may be limited or non-existent. So I would review the syllabus and be very diligent in going through that. And we don't have a steadfast requirement that you cannot take advanced if you have not done the core. It's well advised that you do so that you're not trying to build the second floor of a house before you put in the foundation and the first floor, but it's not a requirement. We want to have you do what is best for you. I don't know your education. I don't know your knowledge base. It would be unfair of me to say you must do this before you can do this. My recommendation is that because we have such detailed syllabi on our website, that you review those. And no matter whether you're a foreign trained attorney or you're someone who's been working in a law firm for a while but just didn't earn your certificate, then and now you need it for one reason or another, then what you'll want to do is go through those syllabi, go through those learning objectives, and have an honest conversation with yourself and literally make a checklist. Okay, I know this skill. I'm really good at this one. I've got this. I don't know this one. I don't have that. I am a little short on this, but I got this one nailed. And weigh it out. And you decide what is best for you. This is going to be your career that yields a paycheck to support your family. And when it comes to training that is going to directly impact your paycheck, um, sometimes it's a better move to make sure you've got the training you need to be as successful as you want to be. Having gaps in your training is not always beneficial. So that's not a decision for us to make. It's a decision for you to make.
All right. Thank you. Once we complete the course, will you still be there to help us on the way to work? Help us on the way to work from law school?
Barbary will absolutely through every part of your legal journey. And if you want to investigate all the fabulous things that Barbary has to offer throughout your legal journey, you can go to our direct website, which is barbary.com, BARBRI.com. And every step of the legal journey is mapped out there for you.
All right. Well, it looks like we have time for just one more question. So,
Okay.
if I am interested in a specific program that is not part of the advanced program, may I substitute that class for one of I
No, I I understand the question. So let's say I want to take employment law, but it's not one of the advanced topics. Can I use that instead of taking one of the advanced topics? No. I also saw a question fly up on the board. What is the pricing on the advanced topics? A 6, I believe, is 3,300. If you pay for them individually, they're $660 a piece. The advanced topics, I mean, you could take employment law, it's a standalone certificate, and you'd pay, the 1105 for that, but it's not an advanced topic, and those are the 16 or what you have to choose from. There are two within the 16 that also work out as standalone certificates, and those are alternative dispute resolution and victim advocacy. Those are offered both as topics and as standalone, but none of the rest are. And they do not allow substitutions.
All right, awesome. Well, thank you, Stephanie, and thank you all for joining us today. If you have any additional questions, please feel to contact us. Our enrollment counselors are always ready to assist you. We will be sending out the recording of this webinar via email by the end of the week in case you'd like to watch it again. Our next online session starts on Monday, June 30th, or you can enroll in the course today and complete it at your own pace with our self-study format. We also have live lecture in a variety of different schools starting in July, which you can find on our website. Thank you again, and a special thanks to Stephanie for her invaluable insights today. Have a wonderful day, everybody.
Thank you all so much. Look forward